Well, now a story about Cleveland's first responders. The union that represents EMS workers is organizing a demonstration at City Hall in the coming days. Mark Namick explains what's planned and what's sparking the protest.
Everybody hears the sirens, but EMS workers say that City Hall officials aren't really listening. Contract negotiations are at the heart of an ongoing dispute between these first responders and Mayor Frank Jackson's administration. A recent court decision in favor of the union has EMS leadership ready to turn up the volume.
3 News obtained an email circulating among union members calling on EMS workers to gather in a large group and attend Monday's Cleveland City Council meeting. The union is also planning a march and picket at City Hall later this month. The union has complained for years about the poor condition of ambulances and equipment, wages and benefits. Last month, a Cuyahoga County judge upheld an arbitrator's decision that settled outstanding contract issues, including recognizing mental health trauma as an injury. The union letter says City Hall is appealing the judge's ruling, a move it describes as a waste of taxpayer money. Union officials were not available today to answer questions, and City Hall did not offer comment on the union's letter. If the two sides remain at odds, the public and elected officials are likely to hear more alarms. Mark Namick, 3 News.